Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Rocha. I'm a cardiologist in New Bedford, Massachusetts, and a member of the COVID-19 Action Coalition, which is a physician-led group that's working to keep us all safe and healthy during this pandemic. I'd like to take a few minutes to speak to you today about voting safely during these times of COVID. I just voted early, like millions of Americans across the country have done. I encourage everybody out there to vote. By voting, we'll be bringing more people in closer contact indoors. And we know that currently in Massachusetts, the number of COVID cases are going up, and we need to take the steps necessary in order to reduce the spread as we try to safely vote in the state of Massachusetts. These simple steps can go a long way to stop the spread. What to bring? You want to bring a 2-layer face mask, cloth face mask, that fits well over the nose, snugly over the mouth, and also fits tightly underneath the chin. That's one of our best defenses while we're in these closed spaces when we may not be able to completely physically distance in the 6 feet. Other things can be used, but not in place of the face mask. Such things as a visor could be used, but not in place of wearing a face mask. The visor may help with some eye protection, as do goggles at times, but they have not been shown to be as effective as masks to decrease the spread of COVID. One other thing that we don't want to do is to use a mask that may have a valve, an exhalation valve, and the CDC discourages people from using valve masks because the person who has the valve mask can still spread COVID. So making sure that 2-layer cloth mask, it may sound simple, but it does go a long way in terms of stopping the spread of COVID. The next thing to consider is to bring hand sanitizer. So before you go to the polling locations, you want to make sure that you wash your hands before you go in. You want to bring one of these hand sanitizers if you can. So if anything that you may touch while you're in the polling center, that you're able to use the hand sanitizer, and the recommendations is to use a sanitizer that has more than 60% alcohol. So one of the other things that we've been talking about again for many months is talking about physical distancing. So we want to make sure that when we're in the polling spaces that we're 6 feet apart, so which is essentially 2 arm lengths away. So both of my arms being out there is 6 feet away is just kind of a quick reminder. And even though we have a mask on, we will still want to make sure that there's distancing. And many of the polling locations are doing probably a little bit more than 6 feet apart from people, and make sure that you're very careful about not getting too close to others. One quick trick that may be helpful that I saw on the CDC site was trying to avoid crowds. So some of the things that you can do to avoid crowds is to try to vote early, either in person, in mail-in, or to drop off at ballot boxes. The other thing is to try to, if you are voting in person, to try to pick times that you're not going to be with other people. So you may pick midday when there may be smaller crowds. One other strategy to consider is to watch from your car, see what the line looks like, and make a decision if you want to wait until it thins out a little bit before you go into the polling locations. So you want to be prepared before you get into the polling station. So make sure that you've done all the requirements and that you're registered and that there's nothing that's going to keep you in the polling station longer than you need to be. The other thing that if you want to cut down the number of times that you're going to be making touches, is to bring your own black pen that can be used when you're filling out your ballot. Another quick hint is to make sure that you check question 1, question 2, and maybe if you have the opportunity, check out a sample ballot before you go in there, so you're able to go in, fill out your ballot, and get out of there. So I want to wish that everybody is to be well, be safe. We can beat COVID together, and let's make sure that we all get out there and vote. And thank you very much. The source for this was, many of the sources for this were from the CDC Gov for further information about safe voting.